Hello guys, Rob FIFA here and welcome to my new video. Today I got another type of video for you, 10 reasons why I love Nintendo. I'm thinking about doing this kind of videos more regularly so that I could share my passion for video gaming with you guys, because this channel should be for people who enjoy playing video games and all sorts of video games. Also, if anything is wrong in this video and any kind of mistake is made in what I say, please write it down in the comment section below and I'm going to correct it. So, what's a better start than talk about one of my favorite companies in the world of video games, Nintendo, and here are 10 reasons why I love Nintendo. Number 1. Gaming franchises and characters. Nintendo created some of the most memorable gaming franchises in the entire gaming universe, like Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, or Donkey Kong. And with these franchises there came characters, like Donkey Kong, or Link from The Legend of Zelda, or Pikachu. These characters are well known in the gaming industry, but there are also characters like Mario, who are known all around the world even by older people who have nothing to do with video gaming. Last week was Mario's 30th anniversary. The first game launched 13th September 1985. Everyone knows him, and it's incredible how it is possible that someone who has nothing to do with video games still knows this little guy. Number 2. Level design. Nintendo has one of the most iconic level designs. No matter what game you look at, if it is Nintendo, you will notice it right away because of the colors and the images and the styles of the levels. You always recognize them. Let's take for instance the first Super Mario game, which was made 30 years ago in 1985. 30 years ago there wasn't much going on in the background of a video game. There was only your protagonist and your enemies and maybe some other stuff, but not that much. Nintendo took level design to a whole new level. They put sky in the background, clouds, hills, bushes, and also changed the design of the platforms. For example, in later levels you have these mushroom kind of platforms, or in the castles where you don't have the brown stones but the gray stones. Nintendo's love for details could be seen in these early versions of the video games already. Number 3. Pricing. If you compare the prices of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, which are more or less on the same level, and then you compare the price of the Wii U, you will notice that the Wii U is significantly cheaper. On average, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are 70 to 100 euros more expensive than the Wii U. Of course, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are kind of different consoles than the Wii U, but they all have the same purpose, being a console which you can game on your TV, and with the Wii U even on the pad. And if you take a look at the games, the difference there in pricing is even more dramatic. You can get an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 game at the beginning for around 70 euros, whilst you can get a Wii U game for 40 to 45 euros in the beginning. Of course, there are also games which go for 50 or even 60 euros, but most of them go for 40 to 45 euros. The same goes for the Nintendo 3DS. Most games go to up to 45 euros and not to 70. That means that in terms of price, Nintendo is unbeatable. Number 4. Reinventing itself. Nintendo does not only proceed further in its development, but also reinvents itself every couple of years. A good example for that point would be the Legend of Zelda series. The first couple of games were pretty straightforward. There were the dungeons and some side quests where you could get hearts or sword upgrades. First reinventions came in Ocarina of Time, where you get an ocarina, with which you can play songs to teleport yourself to special locations, or use them in dungeons to activate some special mechanics. In Wind Waker, there was the ocean and the boat. You could sail with it to all the islands where the dungeons were. In Spirit Tracks, you had the train as a transportation vehicle, and in Four Swords, there were 4 links, so a whole new dimension of puzzles could be made with this mechanic. Number 5. Pocket consoles. Today, Nintendo is the leader in pocket consoles with the Nintendo 3DS. Also, Nintendo brought the biggest pocket console ever on this planet, the Game Boy. The Game Boy had unbelievable amounts of sellings and was one of the most popular consoles in the entire world. I bet almost every one of you had a Game Boy in his childhood earlier or later. So I think I don't have to talk more about the popularity of the console. Also, Nintendo reinvented the pocket console with the Nintendo DS, with 2 screens and a touchscreen. Nintendo managed it to develop a console which had enough power to play the video games on it like on a big console at home, but also you can take it anywhere and everywhere and play with your friends together. This was a true breakthrough in the video gaming history. Number 6. Pioneers of today's gaming. Nintendo was founded in 1889 by Fusajiro Yamauchi. Originally, they made card games, but in the 1970s they specialized on video games. From that point on, they began on working on the consoles like the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or the N64. All these consoles were breakthroughs during their release times. In that time, Nintendo established many things who were standard in the past or even are in today's time. Things like these portable discs on which you could write down your save files were a common thing in 15 years before around the millennium memory cards were made. And if you play a video game on your console, what do you have in your hand? Your game controller. The development of these, from these plastic sticks which you had in your hand, to the specially shaped for our hands controllers we have today, were all pioneered by Nintendo. Number 7. Childhood memories. I know, this point could also be excluded, but I bet many of you have the same feelings. My first console was a SNES in 1999, and with this console I started my love for gaming and my passion for gaming. With games like Super Mario All-Stars, or The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, or Yoshi's Island, a whole new world began to show up on my screen, a world I could control. Every one of you who watches this video and has a passion for gaming has its own childhood memories, but I bet many of you were made by Nintendo. Number 8. Quality. I've got an SNES, a GameCube, a normal Nintendo DS, a Nintendo DS Lite, and a Nintendo 2DS. And every one of them works perfectly fine. Except my normal Nintendo DS, but that's due to falling down a couple of times. And still, only the plastic is destroyed, the hardware is perfectly fine. This just shows how good of a quality Nintendo products are. Most of these consoles have many years and will still have many years, and they don't fall apart. Of course, they are breakable, but if you are very careful with them and don't do anything stupid with them, they will stay as they are. Number 9. Music and sound. Who of you did not recognize this melody? I think it's one of the most iconic melodies ever. And that's due to Nintendo's amazing skills in terms of music. What they managed to get out of these little consoles with these limited possibilities amazes me still today. Another soundtrack what is well known amongst the gaming community is Saria's song from Ocarina of Time. You remember this song even if you haven't played this game for 15 years. You also have to mention all the little sound effects Nintendo created. For example, when Mario gets a mushroom and becomes Big Mario, or when he goes down a pipe, or when he stomps on a Goomba. These are the little sound effects that make Nintendo iconic. Number 10. Crossovers between games. Nintendo is not only creating games itself, but also crossovers between games like Super Smash, Mario Kart or Mario Party. All the characters from the Nintendo universe come together in these games. So you have a huge variety of protagonists and can play with your favorite character in the game. So that's it for the video. Write down in the comment section below what are the reasons you love Nintendo. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. It really took a lot of time to make this video and I would really appreciate it. See you soon.